All right, everybody. I'm Logan Alec. I'm a CPA, and this is my update for Monday, April 10th. The fifth batch of third stimulus payments will be hitting bank accounts this week. We have not received any further update from the IRS other than what we discussed last week. The official payment date for this batch is, of course, the Wednesday. That's April 14th. But just remember, just because that's the official payment date doesn't necessarily mean that your payment will be in your account on that exact date. It could be before that date, could be after that date if you get it through direct deposit. So keep an eye on your payment status on the Get My Payment tool. And if you received a payment today or over the weekend, it would be great if you could take a second to leave a comment so we know when those deposits are hitting. After this week, most of the initial payments for a third stimulus payment will have been sent out, but of course the IRS will continue to make payments as the weeks go on, and will of course continue to issue plus-up payments as people continue to file their 2020 tax returns. Congress is back in session this week. The Senate is in session today, and the House will return tomorrow. The first step toward passing the infrastructure bill will be getting it out of the House Committee on Transportation and Infrastructure. Speaker of the House, Nancy Pelosi, has indicated that she expects that to happen by next month, so that's May. That would put them in good shape to pass the bill in the House by the end of June or the beginning of July. In the shorter term, the White House is meeting today with 4 representatives and 4 senators, which includes members of both parties, to work on the infrastructure bill and see whether bipartisanship is going to be a feasible goal for the administration here. Democrats could theoretically try to pass the infrastructure package through regular order. In that case, they would need at least 10 Republican votes in the Senate, assuming all members of the Democratic caucus are for it. Obviously, Joe Biden wants to show that he's trying to negotiate in good faith. Personally, I don't think there's going to be much common ground here. Both sides will come to the table at least, but I don't see Republicans coming close to where the White House wants this infrastructure plan to be. And the administration doesn't appear willing to water down the bill just for the sake of bipartisanship. So more likely, we will see them try to make some progress in these early negotiations, see if there's an issue or an issue or two where they can get Republican support. They'll probably eventually move to reconciliation and pass infrastructure on party lines like they did with the American Rescue Plan. The details of these negotiations are going to happen within Congress, but at the same time, the White House is trying to get the word out about the infrastructure plan and drum up support from American voters. Of course, public opinion only goes so far. 70% of the electorate supported the American Rescue Plan, and that didn't get a single Republican vote. But at the same time, the White House has a lot more leverage when its policies are popular. As I mentioned in yesterday's update, several members of the administration have mischaracterized, shall we say, certain figures related to job creation with the infrastructure bill. They've been implying that the infrastructure plan will create 19 million jobs, when 16.3 million of those jobs are going to be created with or without the infrastructure plan anyway. Only 2.7 million are estimated to come directly from the infrastructure plan. So there's a fine line between selling legislation and stretching the truth, but it's clear that the administration wants us to focus on that 19 million figure rather than that 2.7 million figure. The White House continued their PR campaign today with infrastructure report cards for all 50 states, along with Puerto Rico. Here in California, we got a C-. None of the states did better than a C+. Now, obviously, these reports are skewed by the administration's perspective and goals. For example, for California, the report simply begins with, for decades, infrastructure in California has suffered from a systemic lack of investment. The need for action is clear. It goes on to talk about specific categories. For example, under Veterans Health, all it says is California is home to over 1,681,730 veterans, 8.5% of whom are women, and 50.5% of whom are over the age of 65. The president is calling for $18 billion to improve the infrastructure of VA healthcare facilities to ensure the delivery of world-class, state-of-the-art care to veterans enrolled in the VA health systems. This includes improvements to ensure appropriate care for women and older veterans. Now, those are all important, of course. I'm not saying that, investing in that isn't a good investment, but it's clear that this report and these report cards are about 90% PR for the administration and maybe 10% actual reporting on American infrastructure. I would expect this to continue on both sides. The White House will keep releasing information about, how terrible our infrastructure is in this country. They'll keep sending around Transportation Secretary Pete Buttigieg to talk up the benefits of the American Jobs Plan, etc. In the end, this is mostly political theater. The administration wants to put pressure on legislators to support the infrastructure package. Obviously, Republicans will be trying to highlight the debts. the tax hikes, the new spending, and anything else they think will pull away support from this plan. So at this point, it's hard to predict how those negotiations are going to proceed, at least until party and committee leaders start working in the House and in the Senate. But both sides are really digging in here and trying to position themselves for that back and forth. As I mentioned, the Senate is back today. The House is returning tomorrow. So we should start to get that steady drip of new information like we saw when the American Rescue Plan was making its way through committee and then through the reconciliation process. All right, folks, that's all I have for you today. As always, I want to thank everyone for watching to the end. I really do appreciate your support, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.